Hey Kathy, this is George. So in this video, I'm going to show you things you can implement right after you watch this. And it's actually going to help drive more traffic to your site. It might take a while, but it's going to drive more traffic to your site, and it's going to turn your website into an asset. It's actually pretty cool. Now you might be thinking, hey, why is he doing this? Or what does he get out of it? Now honestly, the answer is just education. I had to address that because I get asked that a lot. So I like to educate people about what's out there and how they can leverage the internet to actually help generate them clients. Now don't get me wrong. Oftentimes this actually helps me get more clients. People come back to me and say, hey George, can you help me out? I actually like what you say. And yeah, of course I can. But for this video, it's purely educational. So let's get into it first. Google loves the amount of content you have on a site. Now, by content, I mean the amount of words. They have to be keyword rich and topic relevant. Now, I like your site. I like the picture. I think these little images are actually kind of cool. But at the same time, you don't have any content. I'm doing this. I'm getting 55 words here total. You need at least 1,500 if you want to be ranking up in these search engines really well. And there's other factors you can kind of bypass this, but that's one of the main ones actually. Content is king. So your title is Coastal Fence Irrigation. This doesn't have to be this. This can actually be something that would actually drive you more traffic to your site. Now if you put something like, let me show you something. There's 170 searches a month on, this is estimated, for fence companies in Corpus Christi. That's a search term. So that might be something you want to put as your title. You don't have a description on your site. A description is effectively this. These words right here. These words right here. These are descriptions. And this is the SEO title. Right here. So you don't have a description. Your SEO structure is kind of messed up. If you want to talk about this after, we can get into like a deeper dive, but your headers are kind of messed up. You need an entirely different structure. So let me get into it. Content. The number one guys, if I search this, are DC Fence or DNC Fence. See how much content they got. See how much competition they actually are. They have 1,077 words. Now I told you 1,500. But if these guys are doing more than everybody else, that's purely why they're winning. It's a numbers game. Next, let's talk about something called a backlink. A backlink is a link on somebody else's website that if you click on that link, it directs them to your website. So an example of a backlink is an article that a news station wrote, and if someone clicks on that link that's inside the article and it sends them to your website, that's a backlink. Not all of them are created equal. Some are more strong and authoritative because they're trustworthy, and that gives a lot of credibility to your site. Now, at the same time, you can get penalized for getting bad backlinks. If you get one on a adult content site or a gambling site, you'll get penalized and you will be dropped in the rankings, and it will be really hard to find you. So you have 24 backlinks. Let's look at the DC Fence. They have 561. Now, let's talk about some metrics. DR, domain rating, this is effectively your trust flow. This is your trust factors, how much you're trusted by the search engines. UR is your URL rating. This is effectively your power factor in the search engine. So you got 0.2 and 15. They have 11 and 23. Now, backlinks are actually a super big factor in ranking for different keywords. Fence companies in Corpus Christi, Texas, getting 170 a month. This is a keyword right here. Now, fence supply Corpus Christi, that's 40 a month. That is another keyword. There's a bunch of different variations, but Iron Gates Corpus Christi averaging about 10. Gates Corpus Christi, Texas, averaging about 10. There's different variations. But either way, the more keywords you have and the better rankings you have, you will drive organic traffic to your site. So you have organic traffic of 0, D and C Fence are getting at least 235 people going to their site a month. At least. Well, that's one of the reasons that they're ranking so well. So, last thing I want to talk about is your map listing. Content and backlinks are actually pretty big when it comes to these as well. But there's another major factor that comes into these. It is called a citation. Now, a citation is a listing in a directory that has your name, address, and your phone number. I always recommend 300 to 400 of these because that is actually going to beat most of these other guys by a landslide, and it makes your presence a lot more authoritative in the area you're trying to serve. So, with all that being said, I want to recap. The 3 things I think you need to do is get a lot more content. You need 1,500 words of that topic relevant, keyword rich content. You need to fix the structure of your site as well. That's a pretty big thing for SEO. It'll be really hard to find you unless someone types in your exact name. Backlinks. Backlinks, you're going to need, I think they had 550. I would recommend at least 800 backlinks. Now, if you actually want to use the tool I'm using, you can. Here it is. This tool is called Ahrefs. It's $400 a month, but you can actually use it and you can copy all their links. I'm going to show, I just clicked on that. So we can actually see where they're getting links from. It's $400 a month, Ahrefs. Last thing I want to talk about is citations. You're going to need 300 to 400 listings in these directories that have your name, address, and phone number. They all have to be the exact same. If they're off a little bit, it actually affects your rankings in the map. So, with that being said, my name is George Alaniz. If you want to contact me because you like what I'm saying, my email is george@underdogleads.com. Website is underdogleads.com. I'm going to put my phone number at the bottom of the email. You can go ahead and give me a call if you want. You can contact me any of the ways that I mentioned before. That being said, thank you for your time. Have a good one.